What's going on, everyone? I know I haven't posted in a while. I've just been busy with school, work, and life, and you know how it goes. But without further ado, here is my new 2025 11 Gen Honda Civic Si in Crystal Black Pearl. So I'm going to review it a little bit as well as show you the first mod you can do when getting one. Now, for those wondering, yes, my other car was already sold, and I was not able to record the parting out since it took a while to get back to stock. But I'll never forget that build, honestly. It took 2 years of building it, and I was able to give out all my parts to those who will keep my build alive and who have the same passion as me when it comes to cars. And I was able to spend the last few weeks enjoying it, which is why I've been MIA till I got this car. Moving on to this car, the first thing you'll notice is the revamped front bumper, which actually looks really nice and almost the same as the front of the Type R. And now the silhouettes that you see that are right here and over there are actually functional air vents. So they feed air through the fenders. You can't really see the holes, but it goes through here and the air goes out from here. In my opinion, I honestly like how they replaced the fog lights because my other car, the 2022 Honda Civic Sport, only had fake plastic housings, which looked kind of funky, but putting on those fog lights afterwards, it made it look so much better. But I honestly like how this was changed. I know a lot of people didn't really like that, but that is just personal preference. So yeah. So when it comes to the styling of this car, it's pretty much the same as my other car, except it's more aggressive stock-wise. So let's keep going with the wheels here. So these wheels are 18-inch and in the colorway of matte black alloy wheels. And these are paired with all-season tires, which are the same size with my other car as well. Plus they added the SI print on the rim itself, which actually looks really nice. See it right there. But yeah, so these new rims actually look really cool in my opinion. A lot of people say they look kind of close to the stock Integra, but just in the matte black colorway, which I can agree does kind of look somewhat similar. But these add a nice touch to it, honestly, and it looks pretty good with the Crystal Black Pearl. Now as for the back, it's pretty much the same, but it now comes with a deck lid spoiler, which is in gloss black. And I honestly like how it looks on here. It is not too bulky. Now the best part is that this car comes with dual chrome exhaust finishers, which is really nice because my other car only had a single exit. And I cannot wait to upgrade these in the future and have a better sound come out compared to the stock ones. Overall, the exterior is great. It is still super sleek, and Crystal Black Pearl with the red SI badges just looks so clean. And I know for sure that some might have different feelings about what they did to the 2025 Honda Civic Si, but for me personally, I think Honda did a pretty good job. So let's move on into the engine bay. So this car is a 6-speed manual transmission with a limited time slip differential, which makes its power and control great. Now this engine is the L15, which is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque, which I know a lot of people wish it were more for this newer 11 Gen Si, but to be fair, 200 horsepower is more than enough for a daily in my opinion. And as for the suspension of this car, it is actually sport tuned to minimize body rolling and make cornering feel a lot better. And after driving it for a week or so, this for sure has a big difference compared to my Sport, which was a 2.0 liter. And it has so much more power to it, obviously, but overall, it does feel great and the car drives very smoothly. Now let's move on to the interior, and here's where it gets way different from my 2022 Honda Civic Sport. So this car still has a great amount of space for 5 people, but it's usually just me, so more space for myself. One thing I forgot to show you guys is the startup on here. Has a pretty cool setup there, and you can actually have a login and a pin on it, which I put. And when you start the car, this is also one thing I forgot to show you guys, is that on the dash here, you can actually switch this out. So here are the different modes. You have safety support, oil life, the seat belt check thing. We got a G-force indicator here, and then we also have the brake system, PSI, how much I'm braking and how much I'm putting on the gas. And then here is the boost gauge, which is really cool. And then the driver attention level, compass, and the average speed and the range and average fuel, which I like to keep it at. Then on this side, you can have your customized display. You can have Alexa, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, USB, AM, FM, phone. And I just like to keep it on Android Auto because I have an Android. And as for this right one, you can actually customize your gauge design, which is pretty cool. So right now I have it at round, so it's that round one. But if I do bar, it'll go into a bar type, and it'll have the same things on there. So put it on here, just like that. This is what it looks like, which is pretty nice. And then if we go back to customize display, you can also do like a round minimal or like a bar minimal. And what that shows is that it's not going to show as much information. Just like that, that's all it's going to show. And same for the bar minimal. It'll also just show what you have, either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and it'll just show what's on there. And then the normal bar and round, it'll show you everything, just like that. So if you go back and back, and there you go. That's pretty much it. You have everything there. The first thing I love about this car are the bucket-like SI seats. It looks really good, and especially with the SI badge on it, it just adds such a good style to it. And this newer 11 Gen SI has heated seats now, which is a big plus, especially for the upcoming winter. And let me show you everything else. Let me get in the car here. And this car actually has a moonroof. So if you pull this out, there you go. It looks really nice. It's still very early in the morning, so there's a little bit of moist there, but you can control it from up here with this button. And yeah. Now as for the material around the shifter, this is the non-fingerprint material that you'll find on the Honda Civic Sport as well, but they also have it on the armrest now with the checkered pattern of the red and black cloth there, and the stitching is all black and red, which is really cool. And that's going to be the new theme for this car. And the dash also has black and red on it, and honestly it looks really nice. You know, it's a nice change. And here is the H pattern shifter. So this is a precise short throw 6-speed shifter, and it is very light actually. You can literally just shift it with a finger if you wanted to, and just go down and forward for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then reverse. So it's very light and it's easy to use, and so far it's been pretty good. And while we're at it, let me show you what the backup camera looks like. So this is what it looks like. Sorry for the glare, I still have the protective film over it, which I'll change eventually to an actual protector. I can see a lot more compared to my 7-inch Honda Civic Sport screen. So yeah. The biggest thing that I like about this car is the fact that it is fully loaded, and it does have Google built in, and you can have even Wi-Fi on here through your phone and stuff, and it's a lot more customizable. And it's very easy to navigate through the system, and it's super smooth compared to my Honda Civic Sport for sure. And as for the modes of this car, we have the mode shifter right here. So right now we're at normal, and it goes normal. And then you have sport, which changes the gauge here to the red, so you can see. And then we have individual. So the individual I haven't really played around with, but you can change the settings on there. And to be able to change that, you'll just go to vehicle settings and then go all the way to the right where it says individual settings. And for that mode, you can change the engine. Right now I have it to normal, everything normal. You can change every single one, put it to sport if you wanted to get a little bit more out of it. And you could do that for every single one. You could do normal, sport, or sport and then normal or whatever, but those are the two options you can do for the engine, steering, engine sound, and gauge. But I just like to keep it at normal because that's the only thing I like to use for right now, since I just got this car and it is fresh out of the factory. Now moving on, it does have a very smooth 10.2 inch display on the gauge here, and it does come with shift lights that you can see up here, which is really cool. And it does have a blind spot system on the mirrors right there. But yeah, I mean, compared to my Honda Civic Sport, it didn't have any of these features. It had some, but it is such a big difference, and it goes a long way for sure. Last but not least, this car does come with Bose premium sound system, which has a center point surround sound, making it sound really good. There's actually one time where I was listening to a song and I don't know which one it was, but I heard like some sort of like scratching noise, or I don't know, like a cymbal or something. And I thought it was something wrong with the car, but it turns out it was just the surround sound. So that's how you know it's really good, and it's very cinematic. And one last thing I'll show you guys is that the back seats here in the middle, it has cup holders now, which my Sport didn't have. And people can use this if you have passengers. But yeah, that's the interior of this car. Once again, it's very spacious, and it just has everything that you could ask for. As for the first mod that you can do are the rear end lights, and I actually switched to kind of like a darker setting so you guys can see it much better. And those lights are the trunk light, signal lights, and reverse lights, which came halogen from factory. Now, I don't know how long that's been the case, but these are very easy and simple to plug and play, and it'll take you about like less than 10 minutes to do. But shout out to my sponsor Lasfit Auto Lighting for helping me convert all of those lights to LED. Excuse my trunk, I have some stuff from my other car, but I already made a video on how to install those, and I actually reviewed those as well. So I'll make sure to link that below in the description to remind you what they are and how to do it. So for the trunk light, that is the LT10 LED bulb, and I actually put it on already, and as you can see, it is very bright, and you can actually see what's inside your trunk compared to the halogen bulb. Now these are very helpful when it comes to nighttime, because with the halogen bulb you really couldn't see anything. And these are 6000K white light, and these are very easy to install. It's just plug and play, like I said. As for the reverse lights, which is the one on the left, that is the LT15 LED bulb, and then on the right is the T3 series amber LED bulbs for the turn signal lights. Now I already have those on, and I'll show you what they look like right now. So let me show you what that looks like. I already installed them just so you guys can see it right away. And for the reverse lights, these are also pure 6000K white lights, and these are great and will help you see the driveway so much better during at night. Plus they are built to last like the other two, which are the turn signal lights and the trunk light. And then last but not least, we have the turn signal lights, which is the T3 series amber LED bulbs. These are the upgraded version, which have a better system within them, so they will not hyper flash like the older version or flicker. Plus they are built to dissipate heat better, and it has a better cooling system, so it has a longer lifespan overall. And then this is what they look like together. So here are the reverse lights, and then we have the turn signal lights, Let's put the hazards on just so you can see what they look like. But yeah, that is an easy yet simple first mod you can do when getting a 2025 Honda Civic Si or any other 2025 Honda Civic. It'll work the same, and that goes both for the sedans and the hatchback. So that's it for this video. I wanted to do like a little overview on the car's features and the differences it has from my 2022 Honda Civic Sport. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm honestly in love with this car already. I gotta get a relocator for that license plate. As much as I want it off, I just don't want the trouble with, you know, the popos. But I barely have any mileage on this car since it was fresh from the factory. So I'll do more of like an in-depth review once I actually break in the car. And so far the driving experience with this car is amazing. And I can't wait to keep driving it as a daily and keep building it at a good pace, as well as just bring you guys along the journey. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you for once again tuning in. Take care, you guys, and as always, drive safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.